I finally did it. I got the Bismarck. This is my very, very, very first game in this ship, and we're totally stock. The nice thing about Legends is you get to move your commanders over to new ships for free. So we do have a reasonably well-leveled commander with some secondaries. So our secondaries reach 10.8, 10.6 kilometers range, something like that. So that's what we're going to be focusing on in this game, is seeing how well those do. And then, of course, the stock performance of the hull, the guns, that kind of thing. I was really, really excited to get the Bismarck because secondaries seem to be pretty good in this game, and more importantly, this game is so much more close range oriented. The meta feels like it's more focused around pushing in and brawling it out with people. So playing a Bismarck obviously makes a ton of sense in that kind of context. And well, we're gonna start it off with what I was thinking would be a great play, but turns out that I'm just an idiot. I'll say this game was played around 12:30 at night, maybe close to 1 a.m. So I probably should have gone to bed, let's be honest, given this play. We're gonna pop out and stop flat broadside from 2 Bismarcks. Yes, I know what you're thinking. You've played this game so much already. Shouldn't you just instinctually know better than doing this? Like, this is like World of Warships 101. Don't sit flat broadside to 2 battleships at close range. And you'd be right. My goal, if you're wondering, was to do a bit of a reverse side scrape type of deal on this island here. I was thinking, oh, what if I could angle myself so that I'm just only fighting one of the Bismarcks, using the island to hide myself from the other one. They're stacked up very nicely. I think they're maybe in a div too. They're playing quite well as a division, stacking what I would assume to be will to rebuild, making them very, very difficult to kill once they're on low health. So yeah, a dumb play. Probably it would have just been way better if I just gone bow in on this island and done the same thing. But regardless, we're losing basically all our HP. One of the great parts about Bismarck is you can just sit broadside and not really take citadels. So I do get lucky in that sense. But now that we're down to low HP, we've done a little bit of damage. 27k is nothing to scoff at. You can see how good the secondaries are, really. Like 46 hits already. That's pretty awesome. This secondary consumable is very cool. I am happy that the PC game is not doing the consumable way, and they're doing more of a slow build into accuracy, but this consumable's not bad either. It gives you the secondary accuracy when you want it, but it does have a long cooldown. You only get 3 charges, so you do have to pick and choose when to use it. Secondaries aren't bad outside of that consumable either, but it does give you that nice pinpoint accuracy when you need it, and might help to deal with some DDs every once in a while. I haven't had the opportunity to test because I've only played this one game with the Bismarck on Legends. So I'm panicking. I'm feeling like my team is kind of hiding in the base, and we got 2 Bismarcks pushing up around our flank, and there's 2 enemy DDs in the middle. So what am I going to do? Well, my Hydra's almost down, so I need to be really, really, really careful. My goal is to try and stay angled, stay on this island as close as I can to make it as hard as possible for those DDs to tort me. And I'm trying to bait these 2 Bismarcks into walking around this island. If I can get them to come around this island, I think we can get them in a crossfire. We've got, I think, 2 Scharnhorst here as well, so there's a torpedo, YOLO threat, that kind of thing. And I'm hopeful that one of the Scharnhorst comes and sits on the island with me. Maybe we can stack our will to rebuilds together and hopefully try and deal with these 2 Bismarcks, but it's not going to be easy. But surprisingly, this ship is very tanky in this game, bow on. Now, I don't know whether that's an actual difference in the ship compared to the PC game, but to me, this ship felt very, very tanky when I put it bow in. That could just be down to the players not knowing to just shoot the superstructure. In the PC game at this point, everybody knows to not shoot at the bow of an enemy ship, especially a bow in battleship, unless you overmatch, but that's not going to happen very often unless you're in Yamato. But we hardly took damage there from that salvo from the Bismarck. So I think it's probably because he aimed at the bow, but still, it's pretty neat to feel like you're actually tanky in a German battleship for once, you know, you're not just eating huge pens to your superstructure. Yeah, the secondaries really do chew you up. I'm getting not owned here, but I'm losing quite a bit of HP to both their secondaries shooting at me. Something that's a little bit odd about the secondaries in this game is that you just have no control over where they're going. So in a minute, you're gonna see that these two Bismarcks, all their secondaries end up focusing on the Scharnhorst. And ideally, I think they probably would have wanted their secondaries to just continue firing at me, because I've used my damage control, I'm on fire, and their secondaries can probably pretty easily take me out. I've now used a heal, I don't have any more healing, there's nobody around for Will to rebuild, right? You would think that that would be the better option for them to just click on my ship and keep their secondaries focused on me, but they don't. And that's maybe the one change I guess I'd love to see about World of Warship Legends with their secondaries, giving you that option to select who it's targeting. Even if it was as simple as whoever you're locked onto, that's where your secondaries are trying to go, and that way in between salvos you could lock on to other targets and at least have some of the time your secondaries going there. I don't know, it's hard to do with controller because there's so many controls that happen on PC because you have a mouse and a keyboard. You have so many more buttons to use, and it makes so much more sense with the way some of those buttons get used. So you can see the Bismarck, when it hits, it's pretty powerful with its main guns. We're already up to 105k damage, over 100 secondary hits already, and we're living, just barely. That last hit fire from the secondaries, so classic. But we get our damage con back, and we're good to go. I'm hoping that I can just sit here in this island and maybe cap this point. It's not looking great. It's pretty close for our teams, and both DDs are live on the enemy team and our team. This is a very close match, which is a little bit rare in this game, unfortunately. I've found that Legends often has blowouts, and that just comes down to the way this game plays. You lose one DD, two DDs, and the steam rolls on, right? There's so much riding on your DD, spotting, capping, contesting, torping people that push in, so there's a lot of steamrolls in this game, but to be fair, there's a lot of steamrolls on PC too. I'm not saying that the PC doesn't have that. It's just the way World of Warships in general works. There's no catch-up mechanics at all, basically, outside of the natural advantage you have when somebody's pushing into you, but that's mitigated quite heavily by just being up on ships, having more ships firing, better spotting from DDs, that kind of thing. So this DD decides to smoke up the Akazuki, and fortunately for me, I'm behind the smoke from the Scharnhorst. This DD decided to smoke up in between myself and the Scharnhorst, so I am no longer lit. I get out of here magically. I don't really know how, but we're left on 12,000 HP. I'm gonna go around the other side of the map and try and use this island to cap the A point from. The points are close, but in tight games like this, sometimes just getting a cap lead results in a win when you shouldn't get a win. So that's what I'm going for here. I'm not that useful in a combat situation, right? Very low HP. Once I get my commander fully upgraded, I would actually have one more heal. The way this commander system works is once you get enough points, some of your skills actually upgrade. So one of the skills I have on my Bismarck at the moment is extra heals, and you only get one extra heal to start with, and then as you upgrade the skill, I think about halfway through, maybe 3/4 of the way through, you get another one. So I'd be up to 5 heals, and that would be really useful on a ship like this if you're able to survive some of these brawls, which is not always guaranteed. But this right here really made me excited to play the Kurfürst in this game. So if you didn't know, there are tier 10s in this game, and they're called legendary tier, but it's basically just tier 10 ships. And the Kurfürst is one of them. So I am so excited to play that ship because the secondaries in this game reach so far relative to the standard distances of engagement in this game. They're just so much closer. You're normally engaging people at far closer ranges, and with this consumable active, just look at that accuracy. We're hitting lots of shells, even on a bowing battleship, right? And it's actually enough to take them out there. I'm pretty sure in that short amount of time, we might have done maybe 5. It's hard to know because you don't actually get a breakdown of the damage you dealt, but I think that might have been 5,000 to 10,000 damage to that Scharnhorst just from our secondaries alone. And we've used all our consumables. I guess that has to be a good game, right? Or you played dumb at the start and you were forced to use all your heals because you gave up all your HP early and then you hid. Regardless, We have 124k damage in our first game of the Bismarck. I think that's an excellent result, and I had a ton of fun playing this one. I'm not sure which I prefer more. We'll have to see once I fully upgrade the Bismarck, but Massachusetts or Bismarck, as far as tier 7 battleships goes, so far, are both seeming pretty awesome. And it's really cool that Bismarck you can get for free just by playing the game. Unfortunately, the Massachusetts is more of a paying ship. It's not strictly a premium that you pay for doubloons, but it's free XP, and it's really hard to get free XP unless you have a premium account, and you're grinding some of the campaigns to get you better flags, to grind more free XP, all that stuff. So it's a freemium, but it's more than likely that you're paying for the game if you're going to get the Massachusetts. I decided to turn away here. I charged this hood. I'm like, all right, let's get into the fight. We had a battleship and a DD on this guy. Surely he's low. Well, he wasn't low, and he ended up taking out our battleship. And our Udachi decides to YOLO. That's what I was checking a little bit early on, was, is this guy really going to YOLO? And I was trying to kite away to get myself in a position where I could maybe hide behind this island to my right if the hood managed to live. But our Udachi got his torps off, and it's all good. But I was intending to hide and just wait out the rest of the game, I'll be honest, because I wanted to win this one. That was a close, really fun game, and winning is always fun. So getting those caps ticking would have been the difference if that Udachi did not manage to land those torpedoes. So well played to him, and really, I had a lot of fun. So you can expect to see some Bismarck games, especially once I've got this ship upgraded. Maybe I'll even do a little comparison between Bismarck and Massachusetts in this game, or maybe even Bismarck on Legends versus Bismarck on PC. That might be interesting, just to compare and contrast, especially once that new secondary change comes out for PC, which I'm super excited for. Anyways, appreciate you guys watching, and I hope you have a great day.